Pass, fail, some other mystery outcome that I didn't see coming, it's all inside this. Konnichiwa everyone, it's Dan from JaDan.co.uk and cheers for finding my video, I appreciate that. Today's video, it's back, it's JLPT Quest. It's just like when Coca-Cola brought out that shit new Coke and nobody liked it, so they backtracked and they went back to original Coke and it's back. Basically this is the same thing, but instead of a beverage, it's learning Japanese, and basically JLPT Quest is back, and it's been a hot minute since we've been doing this. Nani yuta? Homani, oji-chan ya de. Oi, now then, what you call an old man? We say what we want round here. Age is just a number, you get me? Anyway, for those of you that don't know, JLPT Quest is a series of videos documenting my meteoric rise to becoming a kanji master. It's like Pokemon but with kanjis. Learn kanji. And that's what I'm doing. Basically, it's a series of videos where I study Japanese and make videos about it. And if that is something that's interesting to you, have a look at the description below. There's a link to a full playlist all about my studies for N5. So, you know, do that now. Just pause the video, go and have a look, watch all them, then come back. I'll wait. Oi, 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 oi. Futo? This one? Well, basically, I'm saving it towards end of video for audience retention to look better. So, you know. Anyway, on with the JLPT Quest video for today. Right then, today's video is all about JLPT N5 as a whole, in a nutshell. Some other metaphor or simile that means everything, and I'm going to be telling you my thoughts, my feelings, would I recommend it, what I'd change, and all that good stuff. So first up, I want to talk about the actual test itself. Right then, imagine the scene, if you will. You walk into a room and there's a load of desks in that room, and one of them desks has got your name or your number on it, and you sit down and you look around and you wait and you see all other guys just come in and sit at their desk, and tension's getting higher. And then all of a sudden some invigilator wanders over, boom, slaps a test book on your desk, and it's time to get going with test. And inside this booklet there's a load of Japanese questions. But after you've got over that existential panic, it's not so bad, because you open the book and you realise it's multiple choice for a start. Every idiot's best friend. You've got A, B, C or D, and you can just guess and you're going to get 25% earn rate, so that's pretty good straight away. Furthermore, because it's multiple choice, there's no actual output. You don't need to speak any Japanese, you don't need to write any Japanese, you just need to fill in a little box, but it's Japan, so make sure you fill in that little oval thing perfectly, otherwise you're not getting that point, you know? Bureaucracy. Another good thing about this test is it's all split into sections, so it's pretty easy to get your head around what you're doing. First of all, you know you're going to be doing your grammar and your vocabulary, and then that's finished and you have a little break, and then you're going to do your reading, and then you're going to have a little break, and then it's time for listening. So it's not like you're just going to get a sudden listening question halfway through. You can kind of prepare for what you're going to do mentally, and it makes it a little bit easier. So like the questions you get are pretty straightforward, and they're what you expect for a test. There's always some questions about which particle you're supposed to use in this sentence, or how do you say this kanji, which hiragana reading is it, and other way around, like which kanji should you use for this hiragana, and stuff like that, stuff you'd expect. The reading section is pretty good. You get a text and like you've got to find answers in there, pretty straightforward. And listening is basically the same, like which bits rate A, B, C or D, and like it's not rocket science if I'm honest with you. It's basically what I expected, and it's what I'd also practiced in earlier videos, so I weren't like surprised or out. Hey up, I tell you something, hardest part about taking this test, hands down, is taking this test in a room full of other people that don't understand how to take a test and barely speak Japanese enough to understand rules, telling them how to take a test. Like, laddos there, reading book, while invigilators at front, like, please don't read your book, we're not ready yet. So, like, he's just sat there, don't give a fuck, reading his book, looking at questions. His mate's there like, oi, can we read book yet? And he's like, yeah. She sat there, no talking, like, what is this, what's happening? And then you get to the listening section, and Laddo here's fucking coughing his guts up because he's got common indecency to have a chest infection while I'm trying to listen to what Mary-san's got to say about a weekend judo class or something. I don't know, it wound me up big time. So if you're going to take this test, show a bit of demorcum, it's pronounced demorcum, and don't be a dick to people around you that are actually trying to do well on tests. I know it's annoying, but just don't do that, don't be that guy. So with all things considered, it's not particularly an hard test. I mean, like any test where you know answers is not that hard, because if you don't know answers it's pretty hard, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is, like, because there's no actual Japanese output, writing or speaking, it's relatively easy test. Well, it is if you know answer. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is it's easier than if you had to actually output some stuff, so that's pretty good. So if you're worried about taking tests like, oh, I can't write Japanese, I can't speak Japanese, don't worry. Can you fill in a bubble? If so, this is the test for you. Before I even went to take this test, I had done quite a bit of preparation in background, to be honest with you. Like, I'd been living in Japan for 3 years, so obviously I'd picked up a bit, and I did study a bit before I come here, so honestly I could speak a bit of Japanese and I could read it again and kind of know that stuff. So I weren't a beginner going into a beginner's test, which gave me an unfair advantage. It's a bit like being 12 foot tall and playing basketball. I don't know, but I weren't a beginner going into a beginner's test. But I did have to go back and fix a few things, because even though I could speak a bit of Japanese, that's real life Japanese. It's very different to test Japanese, as I found out, much to my distress. Anyway, what I had to do was go back and study properly for a test. So I had to go back and really study vocabulary, and that were annoying, because even though I knew some words, there were a lot of words on that test that I didn't know, because they just never come up in conversation that were useful to me, which, you know, I don't need to know word for lawyer because I'm not a lawyer, you know. But that's a word I had to study while I was studying for test. I also had to go back and actually bother to learn kanji. I mean, like, kanji is something I avoided like the plague. I really didn't want to learn kanji, but living in Japan, it's something that you really need to have a go at, because it surrounds you all day, every day, just kanji here, kanji there. You can't escape it, so you may as well try and learn it. So it were a good reason to go back and start learning kanji, and it gave me a set that were like, these are kanji I need, so let's study these ones, and it gave me like a goal to go towards, which were kind of useful for me. So, studying kanji, seriously studying vocabulary and grammar, and it actually taught me how to study properly. Not just going to a standing bar and talking to a drunk salaryman and seeing what words you pick up. Actually having a goal and a list of things you need to do, and the time you know you need to do it in is kind of useful for somebody like me. Unless I've got a goal, I ain't doing nothing. So having a goal and like step by step what I needed to do to get there were really, really useful for me. And I've carried that on. I've kind of changed what I'm studying, but I'm studying way more now than I ever did before I started studying for JLPT test, which is good. I don't know if I'm getting any better, because Japanese is a bit like, the more you study, the less you understand, or at least in my case, that's how it goes. But actually going and learning to study, and study properly, and doing it every day has made a big difference to me. Right then, so I know what some of you are thinking, and I've seen comments before. They're all like, Dan, why are you wasting your time with N5? Dan, a duck could pass N5, what you're doing? It's a right waste of time, mate. A company don't care if you've got N5. And I know, I hear you, I've heard it all before, but I weren't doing it for that, I was doing it for me. I'm not going to be putting JLPT N5 Badman on my CV, because I know nobody cares. It's like Milhouse in Simpsons.
Nobody likes Milhouse.
But for me, it were a good thing to go back and do. I'm like that dude when you play games, and like, I don't want to go to the next part until I've completed everything. And this is kind of same. Even though I could have probably gone and done N4, or really challenged and, you know, waited a bit longer and done N3, I want to start at the beginning and build my way up, and I want to feel like I've earned it. And plus, it were a good reason to go back and fill all them gaping holes in my education that I'd missed by being an idiot and not studying properly first time. So this test itself is not cheap, you know. It's pretty steep. It's about 5,000 yen, which in English money is about 35 bar, I think. So it's a pretty hefty chunk of change for a test that don't actually mean no. So I know some of you are probably thinking like, why not just study for that test and then save your money and not bother taking test if it don't mean no? And yeah, I get that, you could do that if you wanted, but I want to know that I've took that test and I've done it. And I want the XP up once I've actually done it, you know. I want to feel like, yeah, that were worth all the effort I put into it. Even though I know it don't mean no, it's nice to get that little pat on the back like, good job, you've done it, Dan. Well played, mate. And yes, I'll let you know right now, I have registered for JLPT N4 test, and that is in summer 2019, so that's going to be July, early July, I think. And yeah, I'm ready to go, but, well, not ready to go because I'm still got loads of stuff to study, but I'm well on my way. I've already worked out what I need to do and when I need to do it by, and I'm studying every day. So hopefully by the time test rolls round, I've got a fighting chance and I'm going to get me all. But we'll just see what happens. And maybe I'll fail, I don't know. But I'm going to try my best and see where we end up. So that basically concludes everything I was planning on talking about in this video. This thing, you mean? Yeah, go on then, we should probably open it. What this is the test results envelope. It comes a month or so after you've done test. They just pop it in post. You can check your results online first, but eventually you get one of these things. And this is totally 100% first time I've ever opened it. It's not like resealed with blue tack or out. And I definitely didn't open it a couple of months ago when I got it. So, authentic. Anyway, let's open this. Drum roll, please. Hopefully I've edited the drum roll, but yeah. Drum roll, drum roll. Oh, will you look at that? Pass, mate. Pass. That's how we do around here. So here we go, look. Here's my little certificate and that with my face on it. And a bunch of stamps. Let's break it down like the walls of Jericho. So, language knowledge, which is vocabulary, grammar and reading. 86 out of 120. There's not 120 questions, so I don't know where they get these numbers from. And that's a little bit lower than I expected, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. And then listening, 59 out of 60. And I have no idea where they get that number from, because there were about 7 listening questions. So how I dropped 1 mark, I do not know. That gives me a total score of 145 out of 180, which you may have guessed is a pass. So, reference information, vocabulary, A. Grammar, A. Reading, A. Fucking A. Passed, mate. That's how we do. Apparently you need 67% or higher to get A's, and that's me. So, that was pretty good, weren't it? I'm pretty happy with them results. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. There's a subscribe button somewhere, so press that. And if you want to watch any more videos, there's another one down here somewhere probably, where you can check out some more delicious content. And we've also got the JaDan fam scrolling across bottom, being bad mans, because they help me do what I do. But, as always, until next time, Jamata!